Good afternoon, everyone. It is November 12th, 2022. This video is going to be an outlook for the week of November 13th to the 18th, primarily focusing on the RTH sessions. And this is from the view of a scalper, so this is less of a swing trading plan as it is just a way of keeping context to where we are and where a high time frame momentum might be. So we can ignore the developing profile here from November 1st for now, but instead, what I want to look at is in November during these large sell-offs, we managed to hold the October mid. We couldn't get into the pocket 36.89. We ramped over value area high from last month. We're back inside the first half of the year's value area low, sitting at 75. We're above VWAP from the second half of the year as well. And now we're getting into last year's value area, and there's a lot of high time frame stuff between this kind of 4100 to 4230 area. Let's just spread it out just a little bit so you can see what I'm talking about. You have the first half of the year is POC, you have the August half, you have September's high and value area high masked right there. You have the year-to-date mid at 4155 quarter, or sorry, that might be the maybe not the year-to-date mid. I think it might be, or no, that is the year-to-date mid at 4155 quarter. You have the first half of the year's mid at 4223. This rallies halfback, I believe, is sitting at 3915. I think the sell from August to the low in October. Anyway, what I'm trying to get at is that we have had some large shifts in high time frame momentum, and it might be clear on this chart over here. Let me just pull it up. This is our weekly outlook. Here we go. This is the higher time frame chart, so the all-time high being way back here, and here is sort of where we've been jammed inside of from about June. So this 800 point range roughly. So what I was looking for coming into the month was a sell-off to 37.09 and then getting into 35 to new lows of the year. Instead, what happened was we had our sell-off and CPI gapped us up and we got to the pivot and now we're above that pivot. And I've been saying for a while, in the event we get above the pivot, I'm looking for us to close this gap, I believe, from a prior CPI session and get into the year-to-date mid sitting at 4155 quarter. Year-to-date VWAP is also right around 4090. So I think this is where we'll be headed for the time being. Now let's go into the lower time frames to see how that might be negated or how we can assess follow through. Let's switch this to the hourly chart and let's spread it out just a little bit. News-wise, by the way, not a ton of news. We do have PPI, G20 on Tuesday and Wednesday, and we got some more Fed talk Thursday, Philly manufacturing as well, and some home sales. So nothing crazy, but we'll have a good amount of volatility coming in. I've chosen 39.1475 as our pivot. Sort of lines up with a number of that high time frame structure I was talking about earlier. The October high of the month, the second half of the year's halfback is that 1475. The monthly open at 2175, and last week's value area high at 2475. So this entire 24 or whatever this is, 25-ish down to 75. This entire area is interesting to me. 75 quarter being the first half of the year's value area low. So in the event we get below this pivot area, I think we do end up tagging that Wednesday pre CPI low, and then we can discuss 36.90 or whatever 35.90 and lower targets. But for the time being, I do think we are above our high time frame pivot, like I discussed. We are above this 39.60 area, and we are drifting towards 41.55, or at least year-to-date VWAP at 40.90. Again, let's go back to this lower time frame chart. 40.50, an area of interest. It's just been a very pivoty number for a while, even going back to May. It's right around 2021's value area low, so getting above that puts us back inside the prior year's value. And then just a lot of high time frame structure between that 41.12 to 46. I doubt we're able to rally above 4,200-ish this week. That would be a significant move keeping in mind last Wednesday we closed at 37.50, so you'd be asking for a 500-point move in about a week and a half. So instead, what I'll be looking for is I'll be less aggressive on the short side from the intraday trades, and I think there's a good chance we close this gap that runs up to about 41. What is it? 41.10ish. Yeah, 4107-ish, 4105. I'll be looking for this gap to close. Maybe we get up into here, this 4140, 50, 60 area, and then maybe we fill out the structure within that for the rest of the week. I wouldn't be too surprised if we get a move down early in the week and then the ramp up further, maybe catching or trapping some shorts who think we are going to new lows of the year. A little ambitious there, but in general, I will be a little more aggressive on the long side and a little less aggressive on the short side. That's what I'm looking at for the week. So in general, I think we hold that 38.75. I don't think we head into the gap this week. I think we'll be playing within this large, I know it's 350 points, but I think we'll be playing within this large 350 point range. I think early in the week we kind of clean up this maybe down to 3,900, and then we get our push further up and probably close that gap. And maybe we get into the 4,200s, but I'm a little doubtful. So largely I'll be expecting trade to occur kind of like this in this 230 point range, let's call it. Hope that helps. If there are any changes to this or whatever, that will be posted to Twitter per usual. Other than that, that's all I have for you guys, and trade safe.